What it was like growing up in Southern California, when so many different things were being innovated and was such a fertile environment, was the way it should be. It was very natural. I mean, you could surf in the morning and ski in the afternoon.
I grew up in Los Angeles when City Hall was the tallest building. A time before there was freeways, a time that was so foreign to what it is now.
Skateboarding was evolving in the late 60s, early 70s. The 2 freeway was a plowed piece of dirt that was like miles long. Modern BMX was evolved in that dirt field right in the middle of LA.
What California has to offer is so unique in the world because we got the mountains and the desert and the ocean all within an hour. And it's all great stuff. It's not like a little jive-ass ocean, a little jive mountain. We're talking about serious landscapes.
We have the sun, the sand, the surf. We have that lifestyle, of living outside, of painting graffiti 12 months out of the year.
Probably in the 70s when a French guy came to meet me at my studio in Hollywood, he said, "Woo, this is really big here, I mean, I don't know where I am. It's so huge, it's not like Paris."
Get in the car at, 3 or 4 in the morning, go surf, pack it up, head to Cracker Ridge in the San Gabriels, and then ski by half day, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'd pull up to the parking lot, snow, our surfboards are on the racks. We weren't trying to do anything cool. We just did it because that's what we did.
California was like, to me, was like a lot of different things that don't go together, a collage.
LA's kind of like that, where there would be something interesting happening almost all the time.
Our unique style and flavor is this West Coast experience. We live it every day. We dress it every day. We speak it all the time.
My relationship with the California Locos is we've been weaving back and forth for half a century. I used to go into the Shrine Auditorium where Gary and John had been putting on these major performances. Yeah, well, everybody went. Probably some of the most important events in American culture put together by John and Gary.
I wasn't into rock and roll, but they did have a show with Jimi Hendrix at the Shrine. I was there. It was one of the most amazing evenings I've ever had. And I was interested in what Jimi Hendrix was doing because I had known him prior to his leaving, going to New York. When he came back, everybody's talking the Jimi Hendrix experience, and I'm saying, wow. Yeah, I seen him do that shit in nightclubs, right? Playing behind Little Richard, doing all that shit. All that, actually cussing people out with his guitar. So I got, I said, man, this Pinnacle is something else.
Then we end up with this dark side of Los Angeles, the Hillside Strangler, the Night Stalker.
But back then it was dangerous. You really get fucked up, fuck around in the wrong place.
But it kind of colors everything somehow. This is not a normal city by any stretch of the imagination. So it's not all like, let's go surf. It's not the Beach Boys surfing. This is not the Beach Boys.
From that neighborhood where mom says, don't ever cross the street, don't ever leave the block. I couldn't wait to cross the street and leave the block. And as soon as I was able to, I was.
Now, if you're not into skateboarding, punk rock, snowboarding, surfing, then it's nothing. You'd probably look back at a smoggy pit of hell. But for guys like me, you look back and you go, oh my God, this is a complete miracle.
I had to be unique to survive. I had to be self-reliant is to get my work across. So I took my art as my sole personal journey. It wasn't to be famous or to be part of a group or anything. I discovered myself through my graffiti. That's what California gives us. We could be who we are without being influenced by anybody else.
For me, it was all translation into art, because I didn't go on to be a professional skater or a professional snowboarder. I just did it to do it.
From 10 to 18, through surfing and skiing and the girls and the high school and the parties, and all the crazy stuff that we did, that all ended up, in the end, I was 19. What do I do? I excelled in art because that was there. So they gave me 2 periods of art. That's the way I metamorphosed from this surfer into a serious designer, artist, and photographer.
Being an artist is not even a question for me. Being a visual artist is not a question for me. And I think it's the same with the rest of the guys. In fact, I know it's the same. Everybody has that commitment without saying commitment. These guys do their thing.
We found that we had the same passion with our artwork. Even though one was a performance, one was in jazz, one is in hot rod and skate, and I bring the graffiti, and one's, a super pop. Each one of us has that flavor of the California Locos. So when we came together, we felt like a family.
Our bonds are inseparable in a way, no matter, even if we were transplanted anywhere in the world, I think we would still be California Locos. I think that we're so tarnished by our experience here that the die has been cast, and that we would just infect any place we move to.
It's not something that we put on, it's something that comes from the inside. This style that we have, this California Locos, is about being local. Not crazy in your head, but crazy about life.
So we have these beautiful objects, I think, and you look at them and you go, wow, man, that looks incredible. But what are you looking at? It's not decoration. You're looking through it into these stories.
The California Locos were formed long before any of us 5 got together. In fact, the notion of California Locos would include guys like Vasquez and Joaquin Murrieta. Those are some crazy early California people.
You have to look at Los Angeles, and the California Locos is a kind of like a state of change. It's not necessarily standing still. It's constantly moving and changing.
Our California Locos is a world movement. Everybody is keeping an eye on who we are. And I have to say, California Locos is beyond us. There are many Locos. There are masters in all the surf and the skate and the hot rod and the low rider. There's the tattoo masters. All of those are Locos, are part of this family. This lifestyle is never ending. It's constantly being reinvented with the youth. So it's just a train. We hopped on and it's still going.
It really feels like the 60s are being replayed in this new day. I just have this taste of, and it kind of tastes like war.